Hello. I'm gonna tell you, this is some bullshit. I've got hundreds and hundreds of freaking dollars invested in this GoPro and all the gear and accessories to go with the GoPro. Hold on, sorry, I gotta get a drink of water. And the damn thing cuts off. It stops recording, but then immediately starts again at 8 minutes and 52 seconds. It's done it half a dozen times. So each video turns out to be an 8 minute and 52 second video, and then another 1 minute video on the end. And I haven't learned all this editing nonsense yet, so I don't know how to group them together and have it just run one continuous video. I shouldn't have to. What a piece of shit. Anyway, I'll get it worked out. So I'm using my phone. I wanted to get another video up there because I had to delete 2 of my videos. They were the ones where I talk about touring. Somebody took offense that I used their name in the video, so I just took the videos down, and I'll just record another video and not use anybody's name. I'll refer to everybody from now on as either shithead or asshole or something like that instead of using their name. So I want to talk about using my Radwagon for touring, or for long trips or long rides. I mean, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to say. I took a ride yesterday from Lovejoy, where I'm staying, to Hapeville, Georgia. It's like 20 miles, right at a little over 20 miles each way. It wasn't a bad trip, a couple sketchy sections, but it was not bad. Went up there, visited with my son and my ex-co-workers where I used to work. Went to Outback Bikes in Hapeville. Went and had lunch at Which. Then rode back. Wasn't bad. A few sections of road weren't great, but you know, that's the roads in Georgia. But I proved that I can do it. Now, the East Point MARTA station is only a couple miles up the road from Hapeville, so I can easily get to the East Point MARTA station. My Radwagon will not fit on the rack on the front of a MARTA bus. It's too long. But it will go on a MARTA train. You can take bicycles on the train. I can get to the train station. If I can get my bike on a train, I can get anywhere downtown, anywhere in the metro Atlanta area I want to go on the bike. Now, most of the rail platforms at MARTA stations, you have to take an escalator, which you can't take a bike on the escalator, or they've got elevators. The elevators are kind of small. The Radwagon is 80 inches overall, end to end. I've got to see if they'll fit on them little tiny elevators at MARTA. If it will, I'm golden. If it won't, I've got another problem I got to work out. But anyway, I want to take longer trips on the bike. I love rail trails. See, here's my freaking water jug. Can you read it? Yep, hell yeah, you can read it. I'm a big advocate for the Rails to Trails Conservancy. I love rail trails. One of the best ones is the Silver Comet Trail right here in Georgia. It runs from Smyrna, Georgia, all the way to Anniston, Alabama, and then back. It's an outback. I want to ride it. I've got a couple guys with me in the neighborhood here that also like riding it. I've ridden it a couple times, just not in its entirety, just the first 10 miles or so. But I want to ride it in its entirety. There's campgrounds along the way. Obviously, if you want to sleep in a hotel, you can get a hotel along the way. It passes through towns every 20 miles or so. But there's campgrounds en route. Then there's a campground at the end in Weaver, Alabama. So my plan, ride about 50 miles, stay at a campground, charge my battery, get a good night's sleep. Next morning, ride 50 miles, well, 48 to the end. It's 96 miles each way. Stay at that campground, recharge my battery, Next morning, get up, ride back to the original campground I stopped at again, charge the battery, rest. Next day, ride back to Smyrna. So if one of these guys wants to go, but they do not plan on riding the whole thing, that's fine. Just let me go out there with you. I'll ride the first 10 miles, whatever you want to do with you. I'll continue on my trip. When I finish my trip, I'll have my son come pick me up in Smyrna, or I've got a couple friends that said that they would be willing to come and get me. I'll get home. You know, that's logistically, I don't think that's going to be a problem. That trip I'm going to do very, very soon. There are other rail trails, tons of them around the country. There's probably over a dozen just in Pennsylvania, but one of the better known ones is the Katy Trail in Missouri. It runs completely across the state of Missouri. It's like 317 miles. You can get on that trail and go. No car traffic, pedestrians and bicycles only. You can ride 317 miles out, 317 miles back for a very long trip. Campgrounds along the way, hotels along the way, restaurants, anything you want. It's a very safe trail. I want to do it. The logistics for that's a bit tougher. Missouri is far from Lovejoy, Georgia, but it's not an insurmountable thing. I'll figure it out. I could also just get on my bike in the morning and ride it to Savannah, Georgia. There's an established bicycle route between where I am right now and Savannah with campgrounds. There's a bicycle hostel just the other side of Macon. Turn-by-turn directions already mapped out for me from right down the road from me to downtown Savannah. 5-day ride from here. I could go down there, hang out in Savannah for a couple days, and come back on a established route relatively safely and be gone 2 weeks. I don't know why I haven't already done that, but that is an opportunity that I'm looking at doing. And also, once I got to Savannah, I could just jump on the Adventure Cycling Association's Atlantic Coast route, which is an established turn-by-turn direction route. They've got routes all over the country, look them up. But the Atlantic Coast route runs from Maine to Key West, Florida. I've already got the maps for the sections from Savannah to St. Augustine and St. Augustine down to Key West. Turn-by-turn directions. Bicycling in Florida is wonderful. Plenty of room on the roads. They've got greenways and bicycle pathways along their way down there, so you don't have to ride in the road. There's only one little sketchy part in Florida. I think it's the St. Mary's Bridge. They suggest you call the local bike shop and have them come and carry you and your bike across the bridge because it's dangerous to ride. There's no shoulder, and the grates on the bridge are not kind to bicycle tires. Other than that, Florida's fantastic. The Georgia section is shit. Georgia hates bicyclists. They will not admit to it. And the bicycle advocacy groups in Georgia will say, no, we love Georgia. Georgia's great to us. No, it's not. Georgia sucks for bicyclists. The damn DOT cuts rumble strips in the shoulders when there are shoulders to the road for bicyclists to ride on. They cut rumble strips into it so you can't ride on it. There's Highway 17 south of Savannah going into Florida where there is no shoulder to the road. You have to ride in the roadway. It's a heavily traveled section of road. Cars, trucks, buses, RVs. It's very dangerous, very sketchy. That would be the only part of that trip that would worry me. There's no way around it. You got to do it if you're going to run that route. Georgia DOT, you suck. So anyway, all these things I can do very easily on the bicycle. I've spent a lot of time getting this bike ready, and it's just about where I want it to be for touring or for long trips. A lot of energy, a lot of money went into this thing. I've got as much money invested in that damn bicycle out there as most people in this RV park have in their cars. But I lock it up every night. I got an alarm on it. It's insured. So I'm covered, but I don't want to have to file a claim because somebody stole my damn bike. So I'm very careful with it, and I lock it up every night, and I set the alarm every night. And most nights I sleep with my doors open and my gun under my pillow. If I hear anything outside, I'm busting out that screen door, and we're going to jail. I love that bike. I have very little good going on in my world right now. 3 times divorced, very poor. I'm disabled. I get a little teeny tiny disability check every month. I live alone. I ain't got a lot going for me right now. So I invest all my time and energy into that bicycle because I love it. I love riding the bicycle. Even just around the neighborhood a couple times puts a smile on my face. It's the only really good thing I have in my life right now. Other than my son, you know, and I don't want to discount him. I mean, my son means the world to me, and I've got him, but, you know, he doesn't live here with me. So on a day in, day out basis, I've got my bike. I'd like to go and ride it as much as I possibly can. And the way to do that is to go do some of these long rail trails, go to Savannah, go to Key West, jump on another bicycle route, go to freaking Texas. I can cut up and go to Wisconsin and see my brother. There's established American Adventure Cycling Association routes all around the country, crisscross the country, north, south, east, west. There's routes everywhere. Look them up. Anyway, I wanted to remake this video. I hate I had to do it on my phone, but this iPhone takes extraordinary videos. Probably can't even tell the difference between this and the GoPro. I'll work the bugs out in the GoPro and figure out how to edit stuff. And y'all have a good night. Thanks for bearing with me.